Sister Ella here. The Mass today, the liturgy of this Sunday, the 18th Sunday, it's about the multiplication of the loaves and fishes. And you might, when you heard that, you might sort of say to yourself, oh, I know this story, I've heard this story. But maybe we can look at it a little closer. What had happened? Jesus had just heard of the death of John the Baptist, who was his cousin. And he'd had this terrible death, murdered, beheaded. And so Jesus would be upset because Jesus was really man. He was a real person, a human being. He was God who had become man, but he was fully human. And so naturally, he was be very upset, and he was going off to grieve and to mourn and to consider, because you never know, maybe the death of John the Baptist was his signal to start his work. Remember when Our Lady asked him at the marriage feast of Cana to do something for the young couple because they had no wine? Jesus said, my hour has not yet come. So you never know, maybe the death of John the Baptist was the signal. Maybe Jesus knew his hour had come. Anyway, off he went, hoping for some peace. But the crowds got to the place first, and they were in need. They were sick, they were disabled, they were in great need of Jesus. And he, forgetful of himself, he just put himself to look after the crowds, to minister to them, to heal the sick, and to help them in every way. And that went on probably for a long, long time. And the apostles got a bit fed up with it, and they came and they said, look, these people, we have to let them go away because they've got to get off to the local farms, etc., and buy something for themselves to eat and get home and more or less get out of our way. Jesus, he was completely different. He said to the apostles, probably much to their surprise, you give them something to eat. Well, panic stations. How can we do that? We go, well, what have you got? 5 loaves and a couple of fish. And Jesus said, bring them to me. And what did he do? He blessed them, he broke, and he gave. And he said to the apostles, you feed them. And they did. The same men who a few minutes before had been saying, let's send these people away, they ended up feeding them. And we know 5,000 is the number given, but that wasn't counting the women. So put on another 5,000 if each man had his wife with them. Put on another 5,000 if they had one child. Put on another 5,000 if they had 2 children. So thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people were fed. We know 5,000 because they only counted men. And the people fed would be thinking about their Jewish feasts, when bread was taken, blessed and broken and given. And we Christians think of the Last Supper, when Jesus took bread, blessed it, broke it, gave it to the apostles. But what did he say? This is my body given for you. And so it leads us on to the Eucharist. It leads us on to the Mass. And if you think about it, at the moment, we've got very reduced numbers in our parishes because of the COVID-19. But just think that right across the world, every country, every continent, every place in the world, we have the Mass. And we've had it for 2,000 years. When Jesus says, "This is my body, this is my blood given for you." So love the Mass and love the fact that we have the real true presence of Jesus in our tabernacles. And if you can, visit your church and pray and rejoice in the great gift that we have in the Blessed Sacrament.